At the mouth of Barkley Sound off the west coast of Vancouver Island, a Canadian Fisheries Patrol boat sets out on an unusual fishing trip. Its quarry, a shark. Other species of marine life are cited as the expedition searches the choppy coastal waters, including a family of sea lions. Then a telltale sign, the characteristic dorsal fin, and the chase is on. The big fish is a basking shark, so called because of its habit of lazing on the surface in calm weather. As the boat draws within range, a skillful shot embeds the harpoon deep in its flesh and sends the shark plunging 75 fathoms to the ocean bottom. But the fish is soon played out and hauled to the side of the boat. At one time, sharks were caught and rendered for their oil. Later, they were sought for the vitamin content of the liver. Nowadays, they have no commercial value. But this fellow is being pulled ashore for a special purpose. Its mammoth carcass will be used to prepare a mold from which life-sized models of the basking shark will be cast. One for the public aquarium in Vancouver, and another for the Smithsonian Institute in Washington. And the arrival of the shark makes a rare spectacle as it is raised onto the dock of the packing plant in a hastily constructed hammock. The catch proves to be a prime specimen weighing about 2 tons and measuring a whopping 21 feet 6 inches. Its dimensions carefully recorded, along with the particulars of its skin coloring and texture, the shark is wheeled into cold storage. Ultimately, its replicas will join other immortals of the deep in the maritime museums of Canada and the United States. In a particularly rugged area of Canada's beautiful Banff National Park, a group of workmen faced a serious dilemma. The problem? To construct a power line over 8 miles of rough mountain terrain inaccessible to ground vehicles. The solution? Do it from the air. With the airlift of the poles completed, the next phase of the job involves stringing a triple span of high-tension cable, consisting of 24 miles of half-inch wiring. Again, the helicopter accomplishes the task. As the electrical cable is carried aloft, hydro crews scale the poles to attach it by pulley. Stringing the cable requires a pull of better than 2,700 pounds from the helicopter. Now only one important task remains. Cross arms and electrical conductors must be set in place on the poles. Placing the crossarms and conductors on the poles needs an added measure of precision, for it must be done without help from the ground. And that's how they string 8 miles of hydro cable in 11.5 hours in the Canadian Rockies. 100 miles north of the Arctic Circle, the trappings of the 20th century have come to the land of the igloo. This is the town of Inuvik, on the banks of the Mackenzie River in Canada's Northwest Territories. Inuvik is an Eskimo word meaning place of man, and in it, the Eskimos are learning a new way of living in the north. Principal center for 350,000 square miles of the western Arctic, the town is raised on stilts, 15 to 30-foot piles steam blasted into the permafrost. An aluminum-covered conduit system carries heat, light, power, and water to all the homes and buildings. Children of Eskimo, Indian, half-breed, and white parentage attend school together in what is the town's main building. Some come from local homes. Some are brought from small settlements and camps as much as 1,000 miles away. Out-of-town pupils live in large hostels operated by the Anglican and the Roman Catholic churches. The school's curriculum is similar to that of schools in other parts of Canada. Many of the children have never known a school like this. Their parents, who are trappers and hunters, live a life far removed from the world that is being opened up for their youngsters. In their games, as in the classrooms and the hostels, white, Indian, and Eskimo children mix freely. These future citizens of the North, for whom the Arctic is home, will never be strange to one another. Winters are long and cold in Inuvik, but in summer temperatures may rise to the 90s. The igloo is commemorated in the design of Inuvik's Roman Catholic Church. This striking structure is pure white inside and out. The wall decor simulating snow blocks. Traveling by air is as much a matter of course for residents of the Mackenzie Delta as bus and train travel is for people to the south. With a way of life as distinct from northern traditions as the dog team is from the aeroplane, Inuvik is a model for other towns to be built as Canada develops its vast Arctic regions.